Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jenny Green, and I am thrilled to connect with you and talk about how Picket can help you deepen customer and member loyalty, generate new leads, and give your marketing a shot of adrenaline. And that's because Picket is not just a game, it is a marketing and customer experience powerhouse. As mentioned, I'm Jenny, and I have the honor and privilege of overseeing our Picket product, which is perfect because I am a huge competitor, and being able to stay in on the action is such a fun piece of what I get to do. So, I wanted to cover a few things with you today. So, let's look at the lineup. First, I'm going to start by sharing more about who Pivot is and what Picket is. Then I'll share more about what March Mania is specifically, which is our upcoming basketball bracket challenge that you won't want to miss. We'll review the playbook, which is where I'll give you a peek at what to expect when you host a contest, a glimpse into our host dashboard, show you some of the marketing materials we've been working on, and some more with that. And then I'll finish by answering any questions that you have. So please feel free to pop those into the chat as we go along. So, who is Pivot? Pivot is the leading marketing and customer experience agency serving community based service providers. We love helping folks define and live out their brands, tell their unique stories, strengthen relationships with their customers. And one of the ways we do that is through Picket. As I mentioned, Picket is coming up. Our March Mania Challenge is around the corner, and it is going to be a blast. Picket, if you're unfamiliar, is our white labeled bracket challenge tool that we built to help you do a lot of things. The first is to build loyalty through fun experiences. With Picket, you can move beyond those transactional business environments and you can help deepen customer and member affinity by making your brand synonymous with excitement and fun. You can also generate leads and, of course, win hearts along the way. You can invite the community or your members, your patients, your nonprofit folks, anybody to play in your bracket challenge. Who is eligible is completely up to you. And you can watch as your brand becomes a household name. Picket offers a lot of brand touch points across the Picket landscape to ensure that your brand remains front and center. It's also a really fun way to prove that you're local and give back to your community. You can customize your Picket contest to align with your community and philanthropic goals because it's not just about winning. We want you to make a difference. We've seen this play out in a couple of fun ways. Some folks choose to make a donation to a winner's charity or even make a donation in a winner's name to a pre-selected charity. So lots of fun ways that you can give back locally. Of course, you're going to boost engagement with friendly competition, and you can actively engage prospects with very little effort from your team. That's because we are here to help deliver big impact on your behalf and try and keep things very, very simple on you. And I really mean that. All I need you to do when you sign up to host a Picket contest is to confirm your eligibility, choose and distribute your prizes, and get the word out. We will handle the rest. And your to-dos can be done through our host dashboard. When you sign up and log into your host dashboard, you can see real-time participation counts. You can sync key dates with your calendars so you don't forget anything along the way. Send invitation emails to your team, community, anyone you've invited to participate, which is especially great if you want to use our service for email delivery and if you don't have your own email service provider, for example. You can also see real-time survey data after each tournament from your participants, and through your host dashboard, you can access tons of editable marketing materials that we've created that are ready for you to use, such as social media graphics, posters, flyers, bill inserts, newspaper, newsletter ads. We have radio scripts, we have general marketing copy, including social media captions and so much more. We really try and be thoughtful about what we provide you so you have a ton of things at your fingertips. Now, all of these, as I mentioned, are editable, and that's because we are including all of the Creative Cloud files, so you can make as many iterations or changes to these files as your heart desires. But sometimes we work with clients who maybe don't have the capacity in-house or the right programs or systems or whatever, and we are happy to make edits to all of the marketing material for you. So if you sign on and want to customize pieces but need a little help, we certainly can do that for you. And that's just one of the things that we can help do and provide for you. As I mentioned, your contest and the participants that sign up for your contest are going to be fully supported by our Picket team here at Pivot. So, not only are we going to provide you a license to the technology, we are going to build your custom site that is white labeled for you. So, it looks like you have built this amazing tool and technology piece to engage your customers, your team, etc. We are going to manage all of the troubleshooting and support. So if you have folks that need help along the way, you can pass them over to us and we will provide one-to-one support. We also are going to do all of your participant outreach. So apart from you just inviting and sort of getting the word out to your community, your members, whoever, we are going to send all of the extra reminders. So, reminders to sign up, reminders to make their picks, notification that picks are available after Selection Sunday. We'll send score updates throughout the tournament. We'll send a survey at the end of the tournament, and all of this is going to be white labeled so it looks like it's coming from you, even though we're the ones pulling the levers. We're also going to provide you that valuable first party data. This is available in real time in your host dashboard, but we'll make sure you know where that is and how to find it so you can update your own customer records and market to these folks in the future if you choose to. So, as I mentioned, March is right around the corner, literally tomorrow. We are so excited because that means March Mania is about to tip off. March Mania is our college basketball bracket challenge, which follows the men's and women's NCAA postseason. Now, these tournaments typically tip off around the 20th, 21st of March and go into early April. So, it's a couple of weeks of jam-packed basketball madness and fun. It's just it's a great time of year. We look forward to it all the time. So when you choose to host March Mania for your customers, your members, your team, community, whoever you choose, you're going to receive that white labeled contest site. This is something that I and the Picket team can turn over to you pretty immediately. So you can just really hit the ground running and maximize your participation window. But this is what they'll see when they sign up. So they can hit that sign up and play button. You are able to add additional questions to the sign up form. So we'll always ask for first name, last name, email address, which will not display on the leaderboard outside of their name. But sometimes we see clients host tournaments and ask additional things here, like how did you hear about us? What's your phone number? What services do you have? Or some really like fun questions like, what's your game day ritual? Or who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite mascot? Things like that. So lots of customization you can even do from the get-go with the sign up form. As folks sign up and kind of navigate the site, they'll be able to see your prizes, they'll see how to play, they can see how the games are scored, what the rules are. There's a ton of FAQs that we have on there and so much more. Now, once games are announced, once the teams who make the tournament are announced on Selection Sunday, our team will go in and enter in all the data and then notify your registrants that it's time to make their picks. So we'll send that email on your behalf, nothing for you to do there, but we'll let folks know, okay, it's time. We want you to go back to your bracket and choose the team that you think will win each matchup from the very beginning of the bracket all the way down to that championship game. And what I love about Picket is you don't have to have a specific device to use it. You can do your picks and access your site and leaderboard and all of the fun on mobile desktop or tablets. So not only do you not have to have a specific device, you also really don't need to know that much about basketball, which is sometimes really fun for folks who maybe want to participate but aren't necessarily like sports fanatics. So for every matchup, we are going to include the post. Well, they're the stats related to those teams from the regular season. So going into postseason, how they did during the rest of the season. So you can kind of make some picks and use that strategically if you choose. But we've all seen Cinderella stories, so who knows if these stats even make a difference, but it is available to you if you choose. And if you really don't want to make picks, we've also enabled a randomized picks option. So you can actually just click a button and your bracket will fill out magically for you using our technology. So we've had some fun picking strategies come to light over the years. Things like, of course, using the stats of what people think will actually pan out, but also things like the team with the cutest players or the best colors of jerseys or the favorite mascots, which mascot might win in a fight, geographically, one state over another, things like that. So really there's no rhyme or reason, but we do provide you stats should you choose to use those. Now, as games begin, our team will score each matchup. So, again, nothing for you to do, but just watch your name and your community's names rise and fall on the leaderboard as the tournament goes on. It's going to automatically update once we enter those scores in and show those new rankings for your participants along the way. Now, the leaderboard is where all the magic happens and where the most site traffic will be once games begin, which is why we've included ad space at the top of the leaderboard for you to continue promoting yourself, partner with other community members, showcase their brand or their ads. We've even had some people consider selling this ad space to sort of offset the cost of the tournament, which is kind of a unique opportunity. But you can host up to 10 ads in this ad space. Again, we want you to remain front and center throughout the tournament, so you can choose this or you don't have to, but it is a fun way to sort of hyperlink to other sites if you choose. So it's really that simple. Participants will sign up to play. They'll make their picks when we tell them it's time, and then they just keep an eye on the leaderboard. And what I love is the great feedback we've received from participants along the way. And chances are that your participants are going to love you for hosting a tournament. And I'm not just making that up. We send surveys after each tournament, and what we've found is that we have a 98% satisfaction rating among our participants. 99% of participants say that they want to play again. 98% of participants say that Picket is easy to use, and 90% of participants say that their opinion of the company that hosted the contest, which would be you, improves by participating. And folks love Pickets, from client hosts who share messages like this, that it was fun, easy way to interact with customers and employees, people being thrilled with the participation when they post contests. They loved the bonding that went into it. It's nice to work with us, and they enjoyed participating in challenge. We love host feedback, but we also love the feedback we receive from participants who say things like, it was so much fun, thank you for offering it. They loved the competitiveness, couldn't wait to check back in. They said it was the best site for completing brackets, which it just makes my heart happy, because there's a lot of bracket challenges out there, but we really try and be the best and offer the most fun and smooth experience. And of course, people that just love that their company offers such fun activities. So if you're ready to join our growing list of clients who host Picket contests, we would love to have you. As I've mentioned, we host contests for broadband providers, electric cooperatives, nonprofits, people who just want to have a contest with their friends and family. So many different types of people approach us to host contests, and I would love to be able to add your name to this list. So you're probably wondering then, how much is it? Well, to host a community challenge is $1,600, while an employee-only challenge is $900. Those employee challenges is if you wanted to host a contest and have it be just internal for your team. When a community challenge could be any eligibility that you choose. So oftentimes we see folks that do that geographically. So must be in our service territory, must be a current customer, must be a current customer in good standing, must be in the state of Oregon, for example. Really, you can change the eligibility to be whatever you'd like. However, if you purchase both of these contests, we do offer a discount. So we'll be able to provide you both a community and team challenge for just $1,900. So you get $600 off. If you decide to sign up for a men's and women's challenge, we're also going to give you an extra 10% off discount, which is super fun. We've had such great feedback from folks that host both men and women's challenges, because the tournaments are so exciting, and all of the upsets and buzzer beaters and all of that stuff. It's just such a fun time of year. That said, I need you to act soon, because the shot clock is winding down. We've got a couple key dates on the horizon. So for example, today is this webinar, and we have until the 8th. So just about a week until we turn off sort of the host signups. And that's because we want you to have a good window to promote the contest and maximize sort of the number of participants that have time to sign up to participate during the contest. Selection Sunday, as I mentioned, is March 17th. So that's right around the corner, when the NCAA will tell us who made the tournament and which teams are going against each other to kick things off. Then games begin the 21st to 22nd of March, depending on if you're hosting a men's and or women's challenge. So just a few days in between when picks are announced and games start. When games begin, we actually close registration. So no one else can join your contests, and no one can edit their picks. And that's because we want to keep the integrity of people's brackets throughout the tournament. Sometimes we have folks ask us because their team maybe lost early on and they want to adjust things, and we don't allow that. We want to see how you do from the get-go. The championship games do happen from April 7th to the 8th, depending on the men's and women's tournaments. And then on the 9th, so the day after everything's officially wrapped up, we will send that survey on your behalf to your participants. That survey data does populate in real time in your host dashboard, so you can see along the way what people thought of your tournament, what suggestions they have, and any feedback they had related to their experience. And then by the end of that week, we just ask that you help sort of coordinate the prize collection. So people that have placed in your tournaments can pick up their prizes. Now, I want to touch briefly on the prizes. I often get asked, what are examples of good prizes that we should offer? Usually it's things like gift cards, which can be a really nice thing if they're digital gift cards because you can email them. So it's an easy way to distribute prizes. We've had cash prizes. We have seen vacation packages, swag bags, bill credits. I would say the bill credits tend to be a little less positively received because people like free stuff that's tangible. So that's an option. Certainly do it if you'd like. Those charitable donations have been really awesome and really positively received from folks. So you can't really go wrong. Prizes also should be distributed sooner than later. Like I said, sometimes we get emails from people that are super excited that they've placed and want to have access to those prizes. Now, the number of prizes you offer can be determined by you. We often see first through third place, but we've had some folks that do first through third place and then a random place prize. So that can be a fun way to engage folks if your bracket gets busted early on. They'll continue to check to see if they can win the random prize, or we'll have like a last place prize sometimes that people like to enable. So if people's brackets do get busted, maybe they can win a prize for being last in line. We have folks do up to 10th place prize. I mean, it's totally up to you what you prefer, but lots of fun that you can inject into an already fun tournament based on the prizes and the number of prizes you're willing to offer. So if you are excited about this, if you want to learn more, we've got our landing page set up. It's picketchallenge.com that has a ton more information. I do have a recorded version of this webinar available on that site as well. It's a 7-minute version. I recognize that not everybody has time to sit and listen to longer webinars, so I tried to do one that was really compact and a little more easy to digest, but that's on there. The sign-up form, if you're ready to rock and roll, is also on there. But if you have questions, want to learn more, want to chat a little bit more in detail about your tournament, my email address is jenny@askpivot.com, and I would love to connect and talk to you a little bit more about how Picket can be a strategic marketing and CX tool for you to enable on the men's or women's side. So with that, we've got a few minutes left. I would love to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to pop those in the chat. I've already had a couple of questions come through, so I'll just kind of dive into these. One question says, what is the best way to drive participation? And I would say digital tactics tend to be the most successful. This is a digital tournament, and so I think kind of speaking that same language has worked well for a lot of clients. In our host dashboard, we also offer an email capability. So you can kind of see that here over on the right-hand navigation, the word invitations. We have an email relay system set up, so you can actually send email invitations through our system using your host dashboard. You can also use that system to send any sort of promotional invitation like messaging throughout the tournament. So if you wanted to engage folks, you can. We certainly do provide score updates and things of that nature throughout the tournament, so you don't have to, but we've found that email is a really popular tactic for driving participation. Also social media and website banners, which we have a ton of that available in your host dashboard in the downloadable assets, like those displayed here, but that can be a really fun way to drive participation also. I'll also say I had one client this year who actually partnered with a local bar and grill, and they're going to do a sponsored kind of like game night around the tip off of the men's challenge specifically. So they are going to have a fun sort of a sponsored night. I think they're footing the bill for some appetizers and things like that, but a fun way to engage another local entity and drive some local excitement around the start of the March Mania challenges. The next question here says, if participants need support, what's the best way for them to get a hold of Pivot? Great question. We have a couple ways that you can get a hold of us. Again, we want to handle all of the troubleshooting, all of your questions, whether it's from you or your participants, so that you don't have to. So we have an email set up. It's picket@picketchallenge.com. Also on the site, we have a little question mark icon. You can see that in the bottom corner here. If you click that, that will route an email directly to me and my team that we will handle that way. So sometimes folks reach out to us with sort of troubleshooting questions, questions about the tournament eligibility, things like that. Anything like that that comes up, feel free to either send via picket@picketchallenge.com or use that question mark and we'll take it from there. The next question says, how often is the leaderboard updated? And the answer is as close to real time as possible. So we update everything manually. So we have a team of folks who are watching the games and waiting for them to officially conclude before jumping into the back end of our Picket system and updating the scores there. So we try and do this within the first few minutes after a game. Sometimes it might be a little bit longer depending on how many games wrap up around the same amount of time. But we do try and do that as close to real time as possible because there is a lot of site traffic immediately following games with people who are checking their brackets to see how they did and then checking their leaderboard to see how they rank against the other people playing in a tournament. All of that is done automatically, again, by our team. So nothing for you to do there, nothing for the participants to do other than just keep an eye on the leaderboard and refresh it after games conclude to see how they're doing. Who can play in a community challenge? The answer is anyone you like. I sort of hit on that already, but you can choose your contest eligibility. So whether it's a contest for folks within a geographic boundary, or you want to open it to current members or customers or anybody in the world, it's totally up to you. You call the shots, but I'm happy to provide some direction there if you want. Most often we see this as a way for folks to engage current members or current customers or prospective members and customers, but we've certainly seen some unique eligibility out there. All right, that looks like it was the last question that I had come through. I will hang on for a minute or two longer to see if anyone else has questions they want to throw in the chat. But in the meantime, I will jump back to this screen and just thank you everyone who joined today. I appreciate your time. I'm so excited for March Mania to tip off. Like I said, it's right around the corner, and I would love to get you situated to host a contest or two in your community. It really is such a blast, and we have so much friendly competition with the tournaments we host and those that we're a part of, which can be such a fun sort of team and community building thing. So again, if you have questions, need anything, my contact information is here. Otherwise, check out picketchallenge.com, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks so much.